Yeah, and then, Sean, good morning. Republicans have managed to pass the Senate's budget resolution in a vote 216 to 214. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey and Republican Congresswoman Victoria Spartz were the two noes on this. Here with me now is Republican Congressman Tim Burchett. Congressman, great to have you with us. You were originally a no. What got you to yes here?
Just the commitment from the White House and the Senate and our leadership that we were going to actually do the things that we came to Washington to do, and that's make some serious cuts. Senator Thune and the senators couldn't have been more cordial and inviting yesterday. We had a small gathering there with them, and they opened up and talked to us about the problems that they were going to have, and they were, oddly enough, they were very similar to the ones that our speaker was going to have. So, the process ain't beautiful. It's never the same, but dadgum, it works, and I couldn't be happier.
My gosh, communication. I mean, should that have probably happened before you guys went to the House floor last night to vote on this?
Well, I told the story in the Senate. Nobody wanted to hear it, but I was in a Sunday school class one time, and they'd lost a kid somewhere, and everybody went 1,000 different directions, and then they couldn't find the kid, and everybody came together, said a prayer, held hands, and walked out across the prairie and found the kid. And that's what we should have done all along, and that's what I sort of suggested. But usually I don't make my suggestions down to after everybody yells at everybody, and then I can come in and be a calming effect.
Cool,
I know that's
cool
a little surprising to some people that Tim Burchett would have a calming effect on anybody. But
no, absolutely. So what happens from here, and what assurances were you given in those discussions last night? And again, given the statement that we had heard from the Republican Senate Majority Leader that they would commit to those $1.5 trillion of spending cuts, where do things go from here?
Just there. We formulate the budget and the spending within those barriers. And if we go outside of them, then you'll have a mutiny.
What are some of the initiatives that Senate Republicans seem to be clinging on to for dear life that Republicans believe is probably more discretionary?
Senate has had a history in the past, and just as I've seen, they a little more free with the spending, at least in recent memory. I've been here 7 years, so and then when the Republicans are in charge of the House, it's like I said, it's a good barrier for the taxpayers. So I hope that we can work around those differences.
We've seen President Trump getting very involved in these votes and, of course, having individual discussions, including with you on other votes. Who kind of gets the credit for this today?
I hope the taxpayers do. I hope our grandchildren. I hope this is the start of doing something real in the form of limiting the size of government and our debt. I think there's people up here who'd like to wreck this economy just so they could run Trump out of town. I think that's a horrible thing to do for our country.
Congressman, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Always.
Appreciate it. All right. So again, the House has passed, of course, this budget resolution. This was tough last night. They actually didn't put this on the floor. They had kept a previous vote open because there were more than a dozen conservatives that were lined up against this. Obviously, the fear was that the Senate's version, the cuts wouldn't go far enough, and this would add trillions of dollars to the deficit. We, of course, saw that statement a little bit earlier from Republican Senate Majority Leader John Thune offering his assurances there. Now the hard part, guys, you got to fill in that framework, and the devil's in those details. So that's what they're going to be working on next. But for now, House lawmakers can proceed with their 2-week recess here, celebrating Easter and Passover. This is now off their plate.